We begin with news tonight that attorneys representing businessmen GALBARANSINGH and Steve Ferguson have argued that it's constitutionally unsound to remove the rights both men expected to enjoy under the Section 34 of the Administration of Justice Indictable Proceedings Act. Queen's Counsel Edward Fitzgerald and Michael Beloff continued their submissions today before Justice Miradina Mora at the Port of Spain High Court, where the two businessmen are fighting to be freed of fraud charges arising out of the Piarco Airport inquiry. Vanessa Haynes was at the Hall of Justice.
Had there not been a public outcry against the controversial Section 34, would Section 34 have ever been repealed? That was the question Queen's Counsel Michael Beloff posed at Day 2 of arguments in the constitutional motion, filed on behalf of businessmen GALBARANSINGH, Steve Ferguson, and several others, who had petitioned the court to have their criminal charges dismissed under Section 34 of the Act. Beloff said he believed that Attorney General Annan Ramlogan and Director of Public Prosecutions Roger Gaspard were quite content with the Act coming into effect in January 2013. Beloff recalled that the public learned about Section 34 and its controversy on July 27, 2012. However, Beloff stated that the Attorney General and the DPP claimed they had no knowledge of its erroneous implications until September 10, 2012. Beloff stated that AG Ramlogan's assertion lacks credibility when one looks at what was said during the debate in the upper and lower houses of Parliament. He further dismissed the Attorney General's statements that he had no knowledge when Section 34 and Schedule 6 of the Act went beyond the ambit of the law. Beloff rejected that the Attorney General misunderstood that the businessmen would enjoy the benefits of Section 34 and not be prosecuted. Instead, Beloff argued that the Act, which was amended on September 12, 2012, is constitutionally unsound. The proclamation of Section 34 on August 30, 2012, by President George Maxwell Richards, paved the way for persons to apply to a judge to have their matters dismissed if they were charged with an offence committed more than 10 years before and not prosecuted. Queen's Counsel Edward Fitzgerald stated that Section 34 was repealed in an unfair and abrupt manner, where it was not taken into account that the defendants relied on Section 34 to their detriment. He stated that Ferguson and GALBARANSINGH both had a legitimate expectation that they will not be prosecuted and be acquitted of the fraud charges stemming from the construction of the billion-dollar Piarco International Airport. He argued that the doctrine of legitimate expectation has evolved in the last 2 decades, where there is a duty to keep the promise. Fitzgerald stated that to repeal Section 34 is a contradiction of the official communication given to the businessmen. The oral submissions will continue on Wednesday at the High Court. Vanessa Haynes, C News.
So glad you could join us. Welcome to the C Sport Report, and let's face the first ball of the new innings. And West Indies tour of Australia got off to a losing start as they suffered a 23-run defeat. Well, that's at the hands of the Australian Prime Minister's 11 in Canberra. While winning the toss and batting, the Prime Minister's 11 got knocks of 69 from Usman Khawaja and 87 from Alex Doolan, and reaching 333 for 6 from their 50 overs. Sunil Narine accounted for Ricky Ponting in his 2 for 32 as the best West Indian bowler. Kieron Pollard chopped in with 2 for 37 in support. Well, in reply, the West Indies openers Johnson Charles and Kieron Powell put on 83 for the first wicket before Charles fell for 34. Powell and the recalled Ramnaresh Sawan took the score to 172 before Powell retired hurt on 92, suffering from cramps in his calf muscle. Sawan went on to score 62, and Andre Russell propped up the middle order with 54 from 24 balls, inclusive of 3 boundaries and 5 sixes. But it was not enough as the Windies crashed to 310 all out, losing by 23 runs in their low and warm-up match of the 5-match one-day series in Australia starting on Thursday night.